People world over commemorated the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 attacks that shocked the United States and killed nearly 3,000 people. In 2001, the hijackers, members of the Afghanistan-based terrorist group Al-Qaeda, took control of commercial planes and used them as missiles, crashing into New York's World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a Pennsylvania field. The incident changed the world thereafter, becoming a turning point in the global political discourse.
We regain the light by reaching out to one another and finding something all too rare, a true sense of national unity. To me, that's the greatest lesson of September 11.
The U.S. administration, headed by the then U.S. President George W. Bush, launched a war against terror and sent American troops to Afghanistan, where the Taliban were ruling. Osama bin Laden, the head of Al-Qaeda, was the prime target. There were two declared objectives of the U.S.-led NATO military operation. 1. Dismantling Al-Qaeda, and 2. Removal of the Taliban from power in Afghanistan to create a democratic state. The U.S. toppled the Taliban, whose patronage combined with covert support from the Pakistan military had emboldened and strengthened Al-Qaeda over the years.
There is absolutely no way that Osama bin Laden was hiding in a military cantonment, Abbottabad, and Pak ISI would not have known. It's impossible. They were definitely involved, they sheltered, and sections in America, they have been saying, especially their defense forces, they have been saying that Pakistanis, they pretend that they are aligned with United States and yet they have been harming American interests.
American forces' military presence in Afghanistan continued for more than 2 decades, and billions of dollars were spent over the war. On May 2, 2011, the U.S. Special Forces killed Al-Qaeda founder Osama bin Laden in Pakistan's Abbottabad in Operation Neptune Spear. The fact that bin Laden was hiding in Pakistan exposed Islamabad's failure to track down, or failure to reveal the hideout of America's most wanted terrorist. The U.S.-led NATO forces left Kabul in 2021, but the war against terror continues in Afghanistan and neighboring Pakistan. Despite the Taliban takeover, the U.S. located the second general emir of Al-Qaeda, Ayman al-Zawahiri, and killed him in a drone strike in August this year. Al-Zawahiri and Osama bin Laden plotted the 9/11 attacks together, and he was also one of America's most wanted terrorists. The killings of both Osama bin Laden and al-Zawahiri, however, pose serious questions before Pakistan and the Afghan government as to how two of the world's most wanted fugitives were able to hide right in their backyard. The United States' counterterrorism measures and surveillance have so far prevented any other major terrorist attacks emerging out of Afghanistan. However, observers believe that terrorist threats persist and that other terrorist groups like the Islamic State Khorasan province are gaining a foothold in the region. With improved intelligence and law enforcement at the domestic level, Washington has developed a network of allies who are capable of preventing an incident similar to what it tragically suffered 21 years ago. However, the U.S. cannot afford to ignore the possibility of a terrorism resurgence and a threat of future terror attacks. People in Washington are also aware that the Taliban never completely severed its alliance with Al-Qaeda. The neighboring Pakistan-based Haqqani network is also involved in the equation, which only amplifies the threat. While U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan may have been hailed as respecting the sovereignty of the country, the fact remains that the ground reality in Afghanistan remains the same. And the United States and others around the world need to keep a continued vigilant eye on day-to-day happenings in Afghanistan.